Okay, let's see. Second part of chapter 5. Um, this is exercise 510. We're looking at the lower of cost or market here. And basically what we're saying is if the market value of something is as if it's devalued so much since we bought it that the market value of replacing it is less than what we paid for it, we kind of have to hold it on the balance sheet at that amount. So basically, we're looking at figuring out what is the lower of cost or market here for these items. Now, I've already done a little table here and just put the information from here in with the helmets, bats, shoes, and uniforms. So basically, when we're looking at this, what we want to look at is we want to say, okay, what's the total cost for these units? And then what's the total market value, essentially, of these units? So for total cost, we're going to look at taking the number of units and multiplying that by the cost. Okay, and we'll do that for helmets, bats, shoes, and uniforms. And then for market, what we'll look at is, again, taking the number of units and multiplying it by the per unit price or cost we have here at the market. So if we do that, what we'll see is we have both what everything cost us and then what the market value of those items is. Now, what we've got to do is look at these and just pick the lower of the two. That's it. So really, we're looking at between 1200 and 1296. It's that one. Between 1224 and the 13, it's this one. 36 versus 35, it'd be that one, the 35, and 1512, well, it doesn't matter. It's going to be 1512. So this is the lower of cost of market. Now, if we look at this, we're applying this separately to each product. Now, if we total these items, if we put the total down here for what's been applied, then we'll see we've got, what is this, 12, 12, 24, 30, 31 each page, shoes 38. We would have 7,508. That would be our LCM here. Okay, so when we're looking at this, basically the lower of cost or market is really a simple thing. We just look at what would the total cost be that we paid for it versus the total market value of it now, whichever is lower is what we have to record that at. The next one I'll look at here is, and this is off page a little bit. This is exercise, let's see, 515. And with 515, what we're looking at here, this is cost flow assumptions, and we're looking at a periodic inventory system. So we've got Flora's gifts. They've got current month data. Company's periodic inventory system. Ending inventory consists of 60 units, 50 from January 6th purchase and 10 from the January 25th. Determine the cost assigned to ending inventory and the cost of goods sold using specific ID, weighted average FIFO, and LIFO. And then want to know which method yields the lowest net income. So they're asking us determine cost assigned to ending inventory. So all we got to do is think of what is left. What do we have left? And we know we have 60 units left. Okay. The first one they're asking us is specific identification. So we have 60 units left. We have 50 from the January 6th purchase. So we have 50 that are worth 280. Okay. So our ending inventory is equal to the number of units, the 50 units multiplied by the $2.80 per unit that we paid for them. And we also have 10 units from the January 25th purchase. Now those were $2 each. So we're going to add the 10 units at $2 each. So basically, look at this, we're seeing we have ending inventory of $160 because what we've done is said, okay, we had specific identification. They're telling us exactly which ones that we have left in inventory. So if our ending inventory is $160, then all we have to do is take the total. We had $2,540 in goods available for sale. I keep wanting to say cost of goods sold, but it's goods that were available for sale. So if we take the difference of these, this is cost of goods sold. So basically we're looking at this and saying, okay, it's going to be the 2540 that we had available for sale minus what we have left in ending inventory. And this gives us our cost of goods sold, 23. We don't need the cents there, I guess. 2380. Okay. So B is for weighted average. All right. Now for B weighted average, well, we have 2,540 items, or $2,540 worth of items, and that's based on 1,000 items. So that means the cost per item is just the 2,540 divided by the 1,000, which means we're at 254 per item. So thinking about that, ending inventory, we have 60 units left, right? Only specific ID do we matter what comes from where as far as what this says. We know we have a total of 60 units left. Each of those units is valued at $2.54. So our ending inventory here is actually $2.54 multiplied by the 60 units we have left in inventory, or $152.40. Cost of goods sold again would be the $25.40 that we had available for sale minus the $152.40. So we'd have $23.87.60. C is a FIFO. Now in FIFO, remember, it's the first ones we get in that we're selling. So if we have 60 units left, well, we got to look at this and we got to say, okay, what we have left are the latest ones we bought. First in, first out means ones that are left are the last ones we bought. So we have 60 units left. So we have 22 of those units are worth $2. So we'll have equals 22 times 2. That's 44. And then we had 60 units left. Well, 60 minus 22 is 38. So 38 of those units have to be worth 230. So equals 38 times 2.3. So 87.40. So if we add these up, the 44 and the 87.40, we'll get what our ending inventory should be here. And what is that? Let's see. Let's just auto sum it down below and then we'll put it up there. 131.40 is what our ending inventory is here for our FIFO. And then again, with cost of goods sold, all we have to do is take our 25.40 and subtract it. So 25.40 minus 131.40 means we have cost of goods sold here in a FIFO system of 2408.60. Now for a LIFO, remember, LIFO is last in, first out. So we know we're looking at this and we have 60 units left. Well, those 60 units would be the earliest ones that we ever had, because in a LIFO, last in being first out means the first that we got in are the last ones we're going to sell. Those are the ones that will still be in inventory. So our beginning inventory is what we'll have left, and that was 60 units. 60 units at $3 each. That's a pretty easy math one. We should have $180 in ending inventory here. And then our cost of goods sold will be, again, what we had available for sale, the 25.40 minus the 180. So if we look at these cases, and it asks which method yields the lowest net income, okay, the lowest net income would be where we have the highest cost of goods sold. In this case, it's a FIFO, and normally you'd say, oh my gosh, well, FIFO, usually you would have a lower cost of goods sold, but if you look, our cost decreased over time as opposed to increased, which really doesn't seem to work that way in the real world, but in this example it does. All right, so the next one we'll look at, there's two more to go. E516 is estimating ending inventory with a retail method, and here we had to go to company. Had net sales of $260,000. The following additional information is available from its records. Use a retail inventory method to estimate Dakota's year-end inventory at cost. So basically, I've just filled in here what we're going to need to have, a little table just to save some time. And I put in the information from the table here. We have things at cost and things at retail. So this is what it cost us, and this is what we're selling it for, essentially. Excuse me. So our beginning inventory at cost and at retail I've taken from here. Our cost of goods purchased from at cost, and at retail I've taken from here. So this gives us goods available for sale. So we have $178,860 of goods available for sale. That's our cost, and we plan on selling those goods for $325,200. Now, it tells us that we had retail net sales of $260,000. So in the retail method, we're going to subtract that from the $325,60. because retail is what we're selling it for. The net sales is what we had there. So if we look at this, let's see, since I made that negative, we should just have to add these. So that means we have an ending inventory at the retail value of $65,200. Now our cost ratio, and this is what we've got to look at here. Our cost ratio basically is, it kind of looks at how we mark things up. When we look at a cost ratio, what we're going to look at here is we're going to say it's our cost divided by our retail. So the total cost we have on these items is the 178,860, and if we divide that by retail, what we're going to get is 0.55 or 55%. So basically what we're saying is our ending inventory at the cost is going to be what we had at retail multiplied by this 55%, because our cost is 55% of retail. So basically, if we take the retail and multiply it by, oops, not that, by this, we will see $35,860 is what we anticipate to have an ending inventory at cost. Because what we did was we took the ratio of cost to retail and we put that towards what we had at ending inventory. So basically we just calculated a ratio here for the goods we had at cost and retail available for sale and applied that ratio to what we had to ending inventory. Okay, and this will tell us our ending inventory at cost. We had it at retail, there it is at cost. Actually, this should be, I should really put this over here. That's bad on me. Let me fix this. Our ending inventory cost again is equal to our retail, our retail multiplied by our cost retail ratio, so 35,860. And the last one is the very next problem where we're looking at this through the gross profit method. Now, in the gross profit method, we're looking at it as basing things off of gross profit. So January 1st, JKR Shop had $225,000 beginning inventory at cost. I put that in here. In the first quarter of the year, it purchased $795,000 of merchandise, returned $11,550, and paid freight charges on $18,800 on purchased merchandise terms FOB shipping points. So they did pay the shipping. Gross profit averages 30%. The store had $1 million of net sales at retail in the first quarter of the year. So we have a beginning inventory. Now, this is net cost of goods purchased, and we've got to calculate that. And basically what we've got to do is we've got to take everything that we purchased during the year, the $795,000, subtract what we returned, $11,550, and add in the freight charges, $18,800 that we had to pay for. So that means we had net cost of goods purchased of $802,250. Okay. So if we add these together, then this should give us the goods that we have available for sale. So we'll add those, and we get $1,027,250. Okay, those are the goods we have available for sale. Now, we've got to estimate what our cost of goods sold here. We know net sales. That tells us their net sales is $1 million. So we'll put that over here. 1, 2, 3. Oops, no, we won't. We'll go back up here. Okay, $1 million. Now, estimated cost of goods sold. Well, if we think about this, if you think about the income statement as we look at them, remember we have sales minus cost of goods sold is equal to gross profit. And if we think about that, and I'm going to write this over here, sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit. So sales minus cost of goods, oh, don't do that here. Let's do this. Minus, sales minus cost of goods sold equals gross profit. Okay. So if we think about it, sales are always going to be 100%. And the company's gross profit is 30%. So that means cost of goods sold has to be, ding, 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 70%. So when we think about this, our estimated cost of goods sold is going to be 70% of our net sales, or 1 million times 70%. which is $700,000. That's what we're estimating for cost of goods sold to be. So our estimated inventory is going to end up being what we had goods available for sale minus our estimated cost of goods sold. And we get $327,250. Okay. The key to this is knowing over here that gross profit plus cost of goods sold percentages should equal 100%. So when we see gross profit is 30, we know cost of goods is 70. If gross profit was 50, cost of goods would be 50. If gross profit was 10, cost of goods would be 90. So hopefully I'll have, oh, these will be up soon. But anyways, if you have any questions, you can call, text, email. Other than that, I will be in touch later this week. Have a good evening. Bye.